Mitesh sir, I'm taking care of home as well as managing house expenses, but my spouse is not supporting at all. How to handle?
Okay. So a lot of people have been asking me this question as women that you're handling financial responsibilities at home, you're the only one working, but your husband's not giving you the kind of support that is required or not financially giving as much contribution as necessary. What do you do in a situation like this? Point number one, I'm going to talk to my student here again. So, very simple. In law of attraction, what do we say? Who is responsible for what you attract in your life?
Myself.
So if you are 100% responsible for your frequency, then is it that your husband is not supporting you? Or is it that you've attracted this situation where your husband is not supporting you?
I have attracted this situation.
Exactly. So the first thing you need to do is release this victim feeling that he's not supporting me. It's not that he's not supporting you. You have attracted this situation that he's not supporting you.
Okay.
Now, you've not done this consciously, obviously. But would you agree that somewhere in your frequency, this emotion is there and that is why you've attracted it?
Yes.
Because is it possible to have a frequency and not attract it?
No.
Is it possible to feel positive and attract negativity?
No.
Is it possible to feel negative and attract positivity?
No.
So, somewhere in your experience of life, you've been having this emotional pattern of feeling not supported.
Yes.
And is it only with your husband or probably even before your marriage?
Before my marriage as well.
So, you'll observe in your school, you'll realize that, or in your college, you'll realize that you're supporting people, but they are not supporting you back.
Correct.
So, my question is this something happening only after your marriage?
No.
So, do you realize it's an emotional pattern?
Correct.
And your frequency is creating that attraction for you again and again.
Yes. Because I always feel मेरे साथ ऐसा ही होता है.
Yes. So, that's because that's your frequency.
Okay.
So, now what you've been trying to do is constantly trying to solve this problem by changing your husband,
Yes.
by doing affirmation for the husband,
Correct.
by changing friends,
Yes.
by changing the mother in law, which you can't.
I wish.
Yeah, I know you wish, but now you can't. So, what do you do then? Who do you change? The situation or yourself?
Myself.
So, when we say change, we don't mean change, we mean upgrade. Why do we mean that? Because if you change from position A to position B, you're still in the same problem. Like in your case, you've just changed from having friends who don't support you to having a husband who doesn't support you now. So, if you quit this relationship, God forbid, can you guarantee me that after divorce you won't find another situation where again you get into a job where there's a boss who's not supporting you?
No.
Or you may have a colleague in your team who's not supporting you.
No, I can't guarantee.
So if you can't guarantee, that means it's your frequency that needs to be upgraded, not your situation first.
Okay.
So how do you do that? Step number one, start practicing hope no for yourself so that you could release this victim feeling. So say it with me. I am 100% responsible
I am 100% responsible
for everything I've attracted in my life.
for everything I attracted in my life.
I am sorry
I'm sorry
for creating this frequency
for creating this frequency
where my husband is not supporting me.
where my husband is not supporting
Please
me.
forgive me
Please forgive me
for attracting this situation
for attracting this situation
where I'm financially experiencing struggle.
where I'm financially experiencing struggle.
Thank you for giving me the ability
Thank you for giving me the ability
to attract support from people.
to attract support from people.
I love myself
I love myself
for receiving support from people.
for receiving support from people.
Now check how you're feeling.
Quite light.
Because for the first time, we're taking responsibility for that frequency and we're saying, I'm sorry I created this, please forgive me for it. But then we're also saying thank you for attracting that. And we're also loving ourselves for receiving that frequency of people supporting you. If you observe yourself, how many years has it been to your marriage?
5 years.
So in these 5 years, if I asked you how many times did you sit and visualize that your husband is supporting you, what would you say?
Never.
Never. How can you attract something you can't even visualize? Can you create a building that you've not visualized?
No.
Can you create a building that's not on architecture paper?
No.
Have you written affirmations that your husband supports you?
No.
Because you don't believe he does. So you see, we are constantly living in reality. Instead of living in reality, let's create your reality instead of living a reality. So what do you need to do now? Step number two, at least 3 times in a day, you will say this affirmation. My husband is very successful.
My husband is very successful.
He's financially rich.
He's financially rich.
And he supports me all the time.
And he supports me all the time.
How do you feel when you say that?
Good about him and myself.
Yes. Now, this affirmation needs to be spoken minimum 3 times in a day. The moment you wake up in the morning, afternoon, imagine it like having medicine, morning, afternoon, and dinner, and in the night before you sleep. Okay, so that's the second thing. The third thing, every time you say this affirmation, I want you to do this visualization. Close your eyes. Say it again. My husband is very successful.
My husband is very
He's
successful.
very rich.
He's very rich.
He supports me all the time.
He supports me all the
Now,
time.
I want you to close your eyes and imagine this day that you got up in the morning and you're doing your work, but along with you, your husband is also getting ready for his work. And instead of staying at home now, he's going to office. And when he's going, he's driving you and he's leaving you to the office and then he goes to the office. And on the way, he gives you a call saying, I'm missing you. And when he reaches office, he calls you back that he's so happy in his new office and that he's so happy with the salary that he's making. And then imagine in the evening when he comes home, he brings you flowers and supports you with all the hard work that you've done. And then imagine at night he takes you out for ice cream. And then imagine that when he sleeps at night with you, he says, thank you to you for supporting him. And he says, I will do everything to make you comfortable. And I will always take care of you. Imagine he says that to you and imagine going to sleep now.
It's a good feeling.
Have you done this kind of a visualization for the last 5 years?
No.
But if you did this for 3 times in a day, how would life be?
Beautiful.
That attraction will only happen when you vibrate at this frequency. Right? So 3 steps I told you. Step 1, you need to do at least once Ho'oponopono for yourself every day. Every time you feel like a victim, do this Ho'oponopono for yourself by saying, I am 100% responsible for my life, for what I have attracted. I'm sorry for creating this situation. Please forgive me for creating this situation. Thank you for now giving me the result. I love myself for receiving this result. And then second, say that affirmation that my husband is very successful, he's financially rich, and he's supporting me all the time. And third, while saying that affirmation, close your eyes and visualize your whole beautiful day of how would you live your life with your husband. If you do these 3 things, the chances of you attracting success are going to be what? Low, medium, or high?
High.
Very high. I was just doing a podcast recently with this amazing speaker. His name is Himish Madan. And during that podcast and that interview with him, he told me a wonderful story. He said, have you heard about Diljit Dosanjh?
Yes.
So Himish was sitting with a friend who's Diljit Dosanjh's friend. And his friend was telling Himish, he said, very, very many years ago, when Diljit and this guy who's his friend, they used to go around creating singing shows, small singing shows when they were very small. And at that time, his friend said Diljit used to stand in front of a mirror. And while we were wondering and worrying about how many tickets can we sell, how can we sell the tickets, this guy would be sitting in the room, standing in front of the mirror, and he would visualize himself singing in front of a concert with millions of people. And he would visualize himself saying thank you to people at the end of the show. And he said, तब मुझे नहीं समझ में आता था पाजी ये क्या कर रहा है. अब समझ में आता था ये आज की जिंदगी तभी जी रहा था. और क्योंकि तब जी रहा था आज वो जिंदगी जी रहा है.
Wow.
So the question is, every day in your life, आप कौन सी जिंदगी जी रहे हो? जो बाहर है या जो बनाना चाहते हो?
अभी के लिए तो जो बाहर है.
तो उसको जीना बंद करो. और जो अंदर बनाना चाहते हो उसको जीना शुरू करो. The more you live that life, that manifestation will happen. So congratulations in advance for your husband being successful, for being rich and taking care of you, and you taking care of him. So if you learned a lot from that, please make sure that you share this video with some of your friends who you know need to hear this video. Subscribe to the channel quickly and hit the bell icon. And if you really want to master these techniques, this is not just basic law of attraction, this is advanced law of attraction. How do you really implement advanced law of attraction? What are the lessons that makes advanced law of attraction different from basic law of attraction? I want to give you clarity on that. So in the description below of this video, there's a link. Quickly click on that link. I want to give you the first lesson of advanced law of attraction completely free. The kind of experience that you had while I was having my interaction with my student right now, I want you to have more of these experience so that you can attract your goals faster, 10 times faster. Only saying affirmation is not enough. You need something more advanced. What is that? Find out in the Advanced Law of Attraction webinar right now. Okay? See you soon in that webinar and let's achieve your goals 10 times faster.